Beyond the physical world we touch and see, there exists a hidden landscape of energy and thought that shapes our very reality. This is the unseen world, where the boundaries between the mind and the environment dissolve into a sea of consciousness. Dion Fortune, a name synonymous with Western esotericism, dedicated her life to mapping these invisible forces and understanding their impact on the human soul. Writing during the early 20th century, she bridged the gap between the emerging science of psychology and the ancient wisdom of the occult. Central to her work was the concept of the psychic attack, not as a superstitious myth, but as a psychological reality. To Fortune, every interaction is an exchange of emotional energy, and sometimes that exchange can become predatory or destructive. Long before she was Dion Fortune, she was Violet Mary Firth, a young woman trained in the rigorous fields of psychology. She studied the works of Freud and Jung, searching for answers to the mysteries of the human mind that science alone could not explain. She realized that modern psychology was touching upon the same truths that ancient mystics had understood for millennia. One of her most profound observations involved psychic vampirism, the draining of one's vitality by another's unconscious intent. This isn't about folklore monsters, but about the very real way people can become anchors or drains on our mental well-being. Then there are thought forms, persistent, energetic structures born from intense emotion and repetitive thinking that linger in our environment. These forms can influence our moods and decisions, acting like invisible whispers that guide our subconscious mind. Fortune argued that we are not passive victims. A psychic attack requires an entry point, often created by our own fear or guilt. Fear acts like a breach in a protective barrier, allowing external influences to penetrate our inner sanctuary. To defend ourselves, we must first gain control over our own mental state and master the art of focus. By strengthening the will and maintaining a clear intent, the individual becomes a fortress that no external energy can easily breach. Fortune taught the affirmation of the higher self, a practice of invoking one's inner divinity to displace shadows. This light is not something external. It is the realization of our own inherent power and connection to the source of all life. In our modern world, Fortune's theories are more relevant than ever, as we navigate a constant barrage of digital information. The collective influence of social media and mass media can act as a massive shared thought form, tugging at our emotions. Professionals today use grounding techniques to find balance in high-stress environments. Just as Fortune described decades ago, the mind is not a passive receiver. It is an active force, capable of filtering, refining, and projecting its own reality. By understanding the laws of the unseen world, we reclaim our sovereignty and walk through life with a renewed sense of purpose. Dion Fortune's legacy reminds us that the greatest battles are fought within the silence of our own hearts and minds.